Mercedes-Benz, can you please buy me and my kids some groceries, please? I get $500 in food stamps, but guess what? That card was in my wallet. So yeah, I don't have it. I don't know what I'm gonna do, y'all.
Alright, so just the fact that you're on food stamps in the first place probably means that you shouldn't have an expensive car and an expensive to maintain car like a Mercedes-Benz. But I guess some people just have different priorities than me. Anyway guys, today I have some of the best benefit videos recently and you won't want to miss the insane last clip.
Mercedes-Benz, can you please buy me and my kids some groceries, please? Somebody stole my wallet and my keys the other day, and I've called every locksmith, at least 20 of them. Nobody can make the key but you guys. Nobody can make it. I take my car there, get it towed there. They charge me $815. $850. I didn't have it. I had to use a firm. I did not have it. Then I was told in 5 days I can come back and pick it up. It'll take about 5 days and I have to pay another $2 something. I don't get it. I just need some groceries. I need some other things, but some groceries will work. I get $500 in food stamps, but guess what? That card was in my wallet. So yeah, I don't have it. I got my first ticket in about 13, 14 years not too long ago because my tag was expired, because my check engine light on, because I need a thermostat. I don't get it. I don't fucking get it. I be out this bitch putting regular gas in the car. I don't get it. I used to be financially okay, and now I'm separated, going through a divorce, raising these kids by myself. I just don't get it. And to wait 5 days, my daughter gotta have surgery on Wednesday. I don't know. I can't get I gotta rent a car for 2 days to get the kids to school. I don't know what I'm gonna do, y'all. Please, Mercedes, just something. Some groceries. So what kind of car should someone on food stamps have? What kind of car? Because this confuses me. So because somebody got a Benz, life shouldn't life for them. They shouldn't lose their job or everything's supposed to be perfect because somebody got a Benz. Like, I'm confused by that. I keep telling people, Google my name so you can see what happened to me. You can Google my story and you will see what happened. I only originally went viral on TikTok for sharing my story. Well, I had one story before that, but did a story time, and TikTok followed me through my journey. Helped me for real get on the news, got me a hell of a fucking attorney, fucking on Roland Martin, sharing my story. I'm currently going through a whole lawsuit, so shit gonna work out for me. It just takes time. But again, the point is what type of car should someone with food stamps have? I'm supposed to be squeaking to social service in an '08 Malibu?
Honestly, I think she is taking this whole thing out of context, because I think just because you're on food stamps doesn't necessarily mean you shouldn't have nice things in life, and doesn't mean that you can't have nice things in life in the future. But at that very moment, you being on food stamps indicates that you are low income and you probably cannot afford a luxury car, so you need to downsize to something that is going to be cheaper and more reliable.
Yeah, I'm about to see if this really true about the food stamps with the cold drinks, the junk food, and the energy drinks. I'm about to go get me some chips right quick. Hold up, let's see. Yeah, I'm gonna get them, Father. I'm about to get them.
No.
Food stamp.
No.
Huh? No. What you mean? Wait, no, you can't tell me. Ain't what you telling me? No food stamps? I can't get. No.
Alright, so first of all, she's in a gas station where they quite literally charge 2 to 3 times the amount in a grocery store for a bag of chips. But addressing the elephant in the room, you should probably be using EBT to buy healthy foods instead.
So I didn't want to bust nobody out. I felt like it, but I didn't want no problem. So I'm grocery shopping, doing all my errands, getting ready to go to work this week, which some of y'all need to take some fucking lessons and learn how to do. And I'm at the grocery store, and it's this family in front of me, can't speak a lick of English. And the food stamps that they had was incredible. I could not believe the food stamps these people had was incredible. And then when we got out to the parking lot, these motherfuckers are getting into a Cadillac Escalade. The fraud is real. All the kids got little Nikes on or Vans, dressing hella good. And these fools had, and their grocery bill was like $700, and they just swiped with no problem.
So just as the first woman we saw who was driving a Mercedes-Benz while being on $500 of food stamps, it's the same thing in this situation where you probably should downsize and get your priorities straight before you're trying to buy a luxury car.
Well, in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania, they have got 59,500 people who've lost their federal food assistance, like their SNAP benefits, where they can apply and get a debit card and go pay for their food. Now, why have they lost their federal food assistance?
All right, guys. Today we're diving into a story that's guaranteed to spark debate. It begins with a woman asking for help after losing access to her food stamp card while driving a Mercedes-Benz, instantly raising questions about financial priorities versus unexpected hardship. As the video unfolds, the focus shifts from personal struggles to the bigger issue of whether public assistance should come with financial responsibility. Every clip adds another layer, making it clear that perception and reality don't always tell the same story.
Because there ain't no way I'm going to go to work. Now, I'm telling you, I think we ought to put work requirements on everything. You either ought to be in a job training program, you ought to be helping with daycares for other people who are going to work. Whenever you put work requirements of welfare to work, I'm telling you, it drastically reduces the burden on the taxpayer.
So honestly, I completely agree with this man here in the fact that you should either be working, trying to look for a job, or, doing community service of some kind if you are on food stamps or trying to receive food stamps and get approved. The only scenario where that shouldn't apply is if you have a disability that prevents you from working or volunteering.
I get $2,700 in food stamps and drive a 2025 Benz, and everybody went batshit crazy. I didn't know that you can't get government assistance and drive a brand new car. Where's the crime in that? My EBT and my child support fund my lifestyle. And if you're mad that I drive a 2025 Mercedes, then you're gonna be mad that my husband drives a 2025 Corvette. And I honestly don't think that it's anyone's business what the fuck I drive. But since you want to see our cars, I'm gonna go ahead and show you. And this is the first and last time I will ever show this. And honestly, I get it. If I were you guys, I would be upset too. But don't knock on anybody else's lifestyle just because you can't live how I do.
So this woman is farming almost $36,000 a year just from food stamps. And if your family drives a luxury vehicle from this year and basically what is a supercar, then the value of those two combined are probably $150,000. So instead of buying outrageous cars that you don't need, you could take that $30,000 and give it back to the government.
I'm seeing that it says yes, EBT cards can be swiped on card readers, bro. Do you not want to sell me the car or what?
Here.
Like, what's going on?
Swipe it and let me show you the message.
It's just some bullshit, bro. Like,
swipe it so you can see the message.
Bro, I'm honestly done, bro.
Come here, act like aggressive and shit. Just get the fuck out.
Bro, who are you talking to?
Just get the fuck out. Bro, yeah, it's not working out. Bro, I already told you I'm done with your business, bro. So you can stop talking to me, bro.
You don't drive our car and then sit here and try to tell me you're paying with EBT.
I'm being serious.
Bro, you're not buying a car with a fucking EBT car, bro. It's just, it's not happening.
It's not a cold cut. It's not fruit. It's a car, bro. EBT, you buy food.
It's sliced fruits,
You
bro.
buy food with it.
Bro, no, I'm sorry for laughing, bro, but it's just, you can't buy a car with an EBT card, bro.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, if I was that car dealer in the same situation, I would probably also be laughing, and I'm surprised that he even made it this far in the application process in order to buy this vehicle. But I would assume that he only has probably a couple thousand at most on his EBT card, so I'm not sure where he was planning to get that other money from.
So please tell me how it makes any freaking sense that as a stay-at-home mom, I had $500 in food stamps, I had health insurance for my entire family, and we got $7 grand back on taxes. I go back to work, I lose my food stamps, I lose my health insurance, and we're only getting $100 back on taxes. And this is why people don't want to work, because why am I working my butt off and losing all that stuff and still living paycheck to paycheck when I was living paycheck to paycheck before, but I at least had food stamps and health insurance and got $7 grand back? Yeah, how's that math then? Yeah.
So it might be a crazy concept for this woman to understand, but if you are currently working and you weren't working before, you are now making more money than you did previously. So ideally, you will not need the government and the taxpayers' money to pay for your lifestyle.
I swear you can't make this stuff up. I swear you cannot make this stuff up. I don't even think I would have came to the internet with this, right? You understand what I'm saying? Meet Mama C, aka no job, welfare recipient, Section A, and disability recipient. Mama C said she can't work. But Mama C just recently purchased Mama C just recently purchased a 2024 Range Rover. You hear what I said? I said a 2024 Range Rover. Her dream car. She said she put $10,000 down on it. You know a Range Rover ain't cheap. I said, you know a Range Rover ain't cheap. She put $10,000 on it. Now, apparently, after going to an appointment with the DHS office, the DHS office, Department of Human Resources, has informed her that she either get rid of that car or they're cutting her off all her benefits. You know what I said? Get rid of the car or we're cutting you off all of your benefits. And Mama C feels like that is wrong because this is her dream car. And it's apparent that...
Buckle up, guys, because this is where the debate gets even more intense. The conversation moves beyond individual stories and into policies, work requirements, luxury lifestyles, and the limits of government assistance. From someone attempting to buy a car with an EBT card to another questioning why working leaves them with fewer benefits, each example pushes the discussion further. By the time the Range Rover controversy appears, the biggest question isn't just about eligibility. It's about where personal responsibility and taxpayer support should meet.
Sell that, or we're going to cut them $4,000 off in food stamps you get a month. That $2,000 you get in EBT cash benefits a month. Where she live at? Where she live at getting $2,000? How many kids she got? We're going to turn off that Section 8 and them disability checks that you getting, we're going to cut them off too. Y'all, come on now. Come on. But you listen to Mama C. You know, AKA no job, Section 8, unemployed, welfare recipient. Tell you the story. And then you let me know if she justified in her complaint.
I got a letter from DHS today. They're trying to tell me that I have to sell my 2024 Range Rover that I just bought. Okay, I put $10,000 down on this car, my dream freaking car. And they're trying to tell me if I don't sell it, because this is considered a big asset, if I don't sell it, get rid of it, I will lose my $4,000 in food stamps, my $2,000 in cash assistance, my Section 8, my disability, and my kid's disability. So pretty much, if you are on government benefits, you can't drive nice things. You can't have nice things. They literally want me to sell my car, my Range Rover, that I have wanted all my life, if I want to keep feeding my kids. They're literally taking the food from my children's mouths because they know I can't work. I cannot work. It's been 13 years, okay? 13 years. Over a car, over a Range Rover? Are you kidding me? This is what they're doing to us. This is what they are stripping our rights away. And this is only the beginning.
It honestly just boggles my mind that people are even thinking about buying these vehicles that are not only expensive and they can't afford, but also cost an arm and a leg to maintain. And in all reality, since that is a Range Rover, she's probably paying more on gas and maintenance monthly than she's receiving in food stamps.
One of the ways that people commit food stamp fraud or SNAP fraud is you get a card and it's got a certain amount of value to it, then you sell it for less than the value of what you can buy in terms of food, but you sell it for cash. It creates incentives for people to, number one, acquire as many cards as possible. Number two, to keep as high a balance on these cards as possible.
I've seen cards as much as $20,000 in this that is on an EBT card.
So how does that happen? Just as a you've seen a food stamp card, an EBT card with a balance of $20,000, and then you could go to a grocery store and buy $20,000 worth of food in one setting if you wanted to. How does that happen?
People are just kept on the program for years, and they keep rolling these balances up, and
whether they're using the card or not.
Now, they're supposed to get rid of it and expunge the benefits after 9 months. Yeah. But if all you go and do is buy a stick of gum once every 9 months, your balance in your card, even if you're no longer on SNAP, that card is still good.
Yeah.
It's happening across the country. In fact, the largest that I've heard about is right at around $60,000 on an EBT card. No, nobody's going hungry in that house, obviously.
$60,000 on an EBT card is just ridiculous, and honestly, if you have more than $5,000, that probably should be flagged if you are trying to use it for security purposes, because obviously something weird is going on.
So the SNAP laws changed today. It is January 1st, 2026. I just witnessed in real time the first person get denied to get a drink because of the law change in Indiana. Mind you, stores have no clue what has been taken off. Customers have no idea what has been taken off. As I watched this older lady sit there and profusely shake, asking why. Why can I not get a beverage to drink? It was Snapple tea, mind you. That really fucked me up in the head to watch. That was probably the one nice thing she was gonna have today, was her cold beverages to enjoy, you know? Just fucking heartbreaking. Genuinely heartbreaking. I can't deal with it. And then no information has been sent out anywhere.
So if that lady wants to buy a Snapple tea, which is, just objectively probably not the best thing to drink and put in your body, then she can buy it with her own money and not use the taxpayers' fund.
All right, guys, we've reached the most controversial part of the video. The Range Rover dispute turns into a larger conversation about fraud, massive EBT balances, changing SNAP rules, and whether assistance programs are being used as intended. With every new example, the debate grows more divided, leaving viewers to decide where fairness ends and accountability begins. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.